Okay. Welcome in, you guys. Welcome to day number 247, I believe, or maybe 257, somewhere around there. Welcome in. I decided right before I started that I was going to do a coloring page today since I've been having so much fun doing them lately. And I'm also always trying to get my tripod together and get it right. Hold on one second, guys. Okay. So we're going to get started here. I think first things first, let's do the chocolate. Let's knock the chocolate out because I think this is more like gold, but let's see if it works as a base. And can y'all see clearly? I think y'all can. Happy Saturday. It's Saturday evening. It has been a very good day. Lots of things has happened today. I think I'm going to need to change the angle of my fan though. I just remembered how fast my fan dries out the marker. So we'll just turn it like this. Yeah, I can kind of still feel it from that angle. Other than that, how was y'all's day? What did y'all do today? Anybody go to work? I know school is still out, so there should be no school. Anybody doing any summer vacation type things? I thought about going to the beach earlier, but once I got off work, I just wanted to come home. So a lot of times that happens. On my off days, I usually can find myself at the beach, but when I work, I just be like, "Ooh, I have been outside already all day." So no parts of me be wanting to go back outside. It's almost giving the Dubai chocolates. It's because this almost looks like a green color. Look at green. Welcome in, you guys. Thank you for being here. So next, we're going to figure out the color. Is this brown? No. What about this one? I think so. Okay. If you guys are just joining, welcome in. My name's Marvelous Marva. I go live every single day here on YouTube. Today makes 200, I think it's 247 days of me showing up here. I started going live on here to create a rhythm of consistency for myself um, several months ago. And needless to say, it worked because I literally can't see my days without me going live. I've even traveled to other countries, other places, and made sure to go live from those places. So it's kind of one of those routines where you slowly build it up and then it really just like takes off. Things that I do here on this channel is usually like arts and crafts. I'm rebuilding my life here in San Juan, Puerto Rico, so you'll see a lot of that. I'm growing different plants, some dog sitting, like different opportunities come my way to make extra income. And sometimes pet sitting comes up. Right now, I also just, I would say, found a baby chick. Like next door to me is kind of like a little plot of land, and one of the neighbors I think owns it, and they don't come every day, but there's some chickens over there. And one day I was outside with my neighbor, and then all of a sudden a baby chick just comes running up towards us. And so she told me to grab it, and I went ahead and tried my best, and I got that baby. So my neighbor and I are raising a baby chicken currently, and it's bringing both of us joy. What else? I do a lot of different hobbies. I'm currently super obsessed with acro yoga. So here in San Juan, I started going to like pole fitness classes, things like that. And then one day, a group popped up on WhatsApp. I'm on WhatsApp. So a group popped up on there and they were talking about doing acro yoga. And I was like, whoa, say less, because I've been looking for that kind of a group for a while. And so I've been joining them every week. And turns out that the home that I moved into, it's like a tiny townhome, but also it could be considered as a studio apartment. But it's right next to the park where they do the acro yoga. So no parts of me has to miss out. I can just walk there. So I have been doing that, joining people and challenging myself, and you'll see a lot of that content on here too. What else? I have a regular, no, I have an unconventional job here in San Juan. Um, I moved out here to Puerto Rico about a year and a half ago. I am originally from Houston, Texas. That's where I was born and raised. My family is more so Caribbean, from like Jamaica and Nigeria. But I was born and raised in Houston, Texas, and I decided that I wanted to start traveling after divorce and my kids being older. And I started traveling and ended up loving traveling. Like, at first, I was volunteer traveling, where I would go to places and I would help people with various projects or various things that they needed help with, like animal sitting, dog sitting, house sitting, chicken sitting. Like I was doing all these things, and it was not easy. Like when I tell the story, sometimes I forget how challenging that period was, because sure, I was traveling, but I put myself like in a position to be away from home under someone else's roof. Like I let go of all of the control that I had of my own life and kind of put it into others' hands as a volunteer. And the spaces were not always like up to how I personally would like to live. But for each one, each time I tried to like leave a place when I would first get there, somehow my daughter would always call at the right time. We'd end up having a nice long conversation, and she'd talk me down. She'd be like, Mom, don't go. You know you wouldn't put yourself nowhere that doesn't make sense. There's a reason for this. And after she'd say that, then like I'd snap back into it, and I would check back in with her like a couple days later and be like, I'm so glad you told me that, because such and such happened, and now this person is treating me so much better, and the place, the environment's gotten better, or I've gotten used to the environment more. A lot of times the environment doesn't get better, we just get used to it. Who's telling me good morning in here? Alejandro, hi. Is it morning for you? Are you the one that's in Indonesia? Were you here yesterday? If so, buenos dias. I was just giving like a little about me story. I think I'll start doing that a lot more here. So what color should I make my cup? Should I make it purple? I think so. Yeah, I should do a blend of these two shades of purple. Ooh, but hopefully it's a good purple. This purple look like it's about to be dry. But yeah, y'all, I started doing the traveling. And then while doing traveling, I was in Costa Rica and I was like, I really like this place. Like, I really like, the island. I like living near water. And so I started to see myself living there. And I tried to find a place, like, things just weren't going like how easy they were going for me when I was back in the States. So I realized as some time went on that I did not want to live there in Costa Rica because I eventually was able to see like what was missing or what it was that I wasn't feeling fully like getting used to. Maybe I won't do purple because this purple is almost out. I'll go over there. Let's see what this color does. Okay, not too bad. So, picking back up where we were, I went ahead and made a choice to not live in Costa Rica. So, I went back home to Houston because my daughter had needed me, and I stayed with her for a little bit. And once things got better in her life, after like a couple of months of me being there, I decided I was ready to get back to traveling. And one day I was with her in her apartment and she was like, "Have you thought about Puerto Rico?" And I was like, "No, I never thought about Puerto Rico." And so I ran to the app that I had been using for my travels already, which volunteers told me about it as I was traveling. So I didn't know this stuff beforehand. But I went back to the World Packers app and I seen that there was opportunities in Puerto Rico. And so I started applying. I applied to one that I really thought was going to be a great fit. Turns out it's the one that I've been at for a year and a half now. They did not approve me. When I applied to them, they, I don't know if they didn't have space or the communication just wasn't like right away or fast enough. So I just kept applying to other places, and another place did have space for me. And so I think it was maybe 2 weeks later, it was time for me to fly out to Puerto Rico to go volunteer and help. And I volunteered at a hostel. Hi, Angel Bunny. How are you, sweetie? I volunteered at a hostel on the west side. This hostel was like 3 minutes away from the beach, walking. Maybe not even 3 minutes, maybe like two, to be honest, just walking. So it was beautiful. The hostel itself was very pretty too. It just needed a lot of cleanup. It was a lot more cleanup than I could do. My job there, when I applied for um, a cleaner, but that meant that I was going to be cleaning the rooms as guests check in and out. But it turns out there was like roaches there. It was really a challenge. It was nothing personal to them, but for my preference, it just didn't sit right with me. And I stayed there for almost 3 weeks. I applied for 3 weeks. I almost made the full 3 weeks, but I just didn't feel safe there for the whole time. And the guests that would come in, they were always just seemed like they were all cracked out. So I was like, this isn't. So I stayed there a little time. My friend came into town and visited, and while she was in town, I ended up staying with her at her Airbnb, and then we made our way to San Juan. And when we came to San Juan, she stayed here for a little bit, I think like a week. And after the week, I had to figure out what I was gonna go do. I was like, where am I gonna go? So I started looking at hostels on the internet instead. And I went to a hostel that wasn't far from where I was. And while at that hostel, I talked to one of the girls that was working the reception, and she told me that she was a volunteer and that she had just left one other place and that she's sure that they were looking for help. So I went to that place and they were looking for help. So I ended up volunteering there. It was another hostel. Um, my job there was reception, and it was a small hostel, so it was very easy. And that place was 3 minutes walk from the beach. So it seems like I always find places where I get to walk to the beach. So volunteered there for 3 full weeks. After 3 weeks, it was time for me to go to another place that I had been approved from when I was still in Houston. And I had been looking forward to this place because the lady did a video interview. It was called Colorful Houses. It's woman owned by a Puerto Rican woman. So like I just felt like it was gonna be like a huge culture exchange. And that's what I was looking for, was a culture exchange. And it was like my job with her was Airbnb cleaning. And I also had to clean or had to cook food for the volunteers. So she'd buy groceries every week and then she would have volunteers do that. So that was a part of my job. I ended up staying with her for 4 months. I stayed with her, I think, after maybe the first full month of me being there, or maybe like the first 3 weeks. She came with a position for me. She was like, I have this thing I've been wanting to try. And this thing was um, having someone be like a co host on Airbnb where they get paid, they get a percentage every time they clean a room. So she had never tried it before, and she was like, I want to try it with you. I want to just see how it works. Do you have Airbnb? I was like, I have Airbnb. She's like, do you have PayPal? I was like, I got that. Connected the two together. And every time I would turn over, she only had 2 rooms. Every time I turn over her 2 rooms, I'd get like $7, $10, depending on the time of the month. By the time the 4 months was done, and I looked at the balance of how much I'd gotten paid that whole time, it was like $700. I was staying with her with no money, and I ended up making all that money. So, and I had my own room there too, so it was really nice. And she wasn't a micromanager or anything. She really likes people that could handle themselves and get out there. And once she assigns a task, just do it. I don't know what color to make I guess this would be the whipped cream, and this is the marshmallows. Let's see if my phone is charged enough. It's dead! Nobody wants me to have. What color should I make this, guys? I guess it needs to have some hues of like yellow. So I pulled these three out. I'll use this piece of paper here. So, continuing on with the story, after staying with her for the 4 months, then I decided I wanted to take a break from volunteering. And so something told me to go to my aunt in Florida. I asked my aunt if I could stay with her for a little bit. I ended up staying with her for 2 weeks to be exact. And while staying with her, I got to go to church a lot because she's into that. Got to meet some relatives that I'd never met before and spend time with family, which was really good. And then while being with her, it was getting close to the 2 week mark and she was starting to get nervous. I think she thought I was going to end up like living with her and she didn't want that. And I don't blame her because you got your own space. You don't plan on people like coming to live with you. So I went ahead and reached out to these guys, the company that I'm still with now, and they responded right away. It was like the perfect timing because they needed help. I think someone had just like finished and they didn't have a replacement yet. So they did an interview with me by phone. I went and told my aunt the good news, and I spent like maybe 2 more days there with my aunt, and I was ready to go. And got here in February, and I have been here ever since. I was volunteering without pay as a cleaner for them. And then eventually, they wanted to move me up. They needed me to be like the manager for like the volunteers that are coming in. I guess because people see like how I work and stuff. So they propositioned me with that. They propositioned me with dispatch to help them with that. So I started getting paid through them. And it was like, I think it was 200 or 250 a week. And that was to help with dispatch and emails, I think like 3 days a week. Some time had gone on and some shifts had, or not shifts, but roles had changed. And so I ended up becoming house manager. And when I became house manager, that meant I was in charge of the volunteers, onboarding volunteers, interviewing volunteers, making sure supplies are always stocked, making sure the house was in good order, like all the house stuff became now my responsibility. And it wasn't bad. We'll have a look at the chat in a minute. What's up, you guys? Naya, hey girl. Hey. I haven't seen you. I've been on here for 21 minutes. You're here, you're at the hospital. Is everything okay? Are you with someone there? How was your trip yesterday to Kentucky? Was it or Tennessee? I know y'all were on the road and then you had just arrived. But I'm over here just talking about kind of giving a recap to any new subscribers so they get to know who I am and what I'm doing here. Why is this girl on live? Well, this is the reason why. So where was I? Elevator has guide rail. Where are you from? He says, where are you from? Elevator has guide rail. I am from Houston, Texas, born and raised in Houston, Texas. And my family is mainly like Jamaican, but I also have Nigerian in me as well. Like, what should I do for the marshmallows? Not that for sure. I'd say that this goes on this side, unless this comes out gray. Oh, let's go over here. I think like maybe like some marks like that, but not with this color. Maybe still with this color. But it's supposed to be like a light color. I'm from Michigan. Elevator says it's from Michigan. Michigan in the house. Woo-hoo. What's the weather like in Michigan this evening? Happy Saturday. I don't say happy Friday. Yeah, I don't be knowing what day of the week it is. Ugh. I just be here. These curved lines take concentration. Give me a moment. Well, so yeah, I'm still with this company. I wouldn't say I work full time, but I wouldn't say I'm part time, and I wouldn't say this is a conventional job. It's very unconventional because it's a small company, so a lot of times the rules are being made in real time on the spot. So I've had to get used to that because I came from like corporate, like banking and like structure, things being organized, to being in an environment where things are not so organized. I feel like I should use my colored pencils for this part. Let's see if I can find my colored pencils. I know these are not my colored pencils, but let's see if there's one that is light. Pastel peach, olive gray, marigold, melon yellow. None of these say hot cocoa. Not even one of them says hot cocoa. We love elevators. I like them. You love elevators? Tell me why you love elevators. I want to know. I like elevators too. I'll tell you why I like them. It has to do with transportation and being able to not teleport, but almost like teleport because you get in, the door closes, and then you press a button. You be still while you're in there for a little bit, you're still waiting, and then the door opens and you're somewhere else. That's why I like them. Also, I like bridges for that reason too, because you get to go over them, and then because you're on one side of the bridge, when you cross over to the other side, it's a completely different look from how it was on this side to the other side. There's always something new over the horizon. Okay, colored pencils. I think these are them. These are some of them. I think I could use this one here. I try to stay organized, y'all. I really do. I really do be trying to stay organized. We love elevators. Okay. If you guys are just coming in, my name's Marvelous Maurva. Definitely subscribe. I haven't said that once yet, but I come on here every single day. Today makes day number 257, I believe, of me consistently showing here. And I usually come on live in the evening time on Sundays because I'm off on Sundays for my regular job. I usually come on here earlier in the day, is what I've been noticing. My pattern has been. And when I come on Sundays, a lot of times I'm doing like domestic stuff like cooking a meal or decorating my home. I've been living here now for 3 months and I still have like so many things I want to do to make this place feel even more homey. And I'm kind of a whimsical girl, so like things around me are like pink and soft pastel colors. I just started embracing all that stuff as I got older, y'all. Because before I was like, now why would I want to wear pink? That's for kids. But now I'm like, oh, I see why I would want to wear pink. It's freaking cute. Hello. Hello. It's so cute. I'm going to just tell y'all the truth. This is not my favorite coloring pencil, okay? This is not my favorite color pencil. But it's doing the job. I'm not complaining. It is doing the job. Y'all can't probably see what all the details that it's doing, but it's doing it. I think that's the inside of the cup, so I should make that orange. And maybe like down here, a little bit of a darker brown. Oh, here's a darker brown right here. So it looks like it's some hot cocoa. I love hot cocoa. I almost thought about drinking some earlier because I had a slice of tiramisu that I got from the market today. I had never seen them have that either. It was delicious. I had that and a casito, and I was like, some hot cocoa would be good. But then I was like, no, it's already sweet. Some tea would be good. I don't ever put sugar in my tea, so if I'm eating something sweet, then that's where the sweet comes from. Oh, that look crispy out. Oh, that look crispy. You like my drawing. Thank you, Soto Casa. I like your name. I like a casa. I like a casa. I wonder if I have any lighter shades. It would be nice to put some sort of a background too. Right, you guys? Wouldn't the background be nice? Is the inside of the cup. Okay. Let's do some accent lines of white. Here we go. On the here, I want chocolates. If you guys could travel anywhere, what would be your number one destination choice? You can have several choices. That's why I say your number one destination choice. For me, in this present moment, I'm thinking Colorado, and not because I haven't been there. I've been there before, but somebody told me that there's a dragon, um, Bishop's Dragon Place or Dragon Bishop something. It's like a dragon castle. And I just learned this today. They showed me pictures. I was like, oh my God, I went to Google Maps. It's definitely on my list of places I'd love to visit one day. It looks super cool. She was like, you can just explore. You don't have to have a guide or anything. I was like, say less. Say less, girl, because that's the kind of stuff I like. Say less, homie. Homie McFadden. Did you guys know that the show Beef came back? I binge watched it yesterday. I watched the whole thing. I'm gonna make a background, like a table, or like just like black. Maybe just black. Maybe black and blue. I don't know how much is in here, but where's that one? Is it this one or this one? This one. Let's do the edge first. It's an Italian name. Oh, really? Oh, Italian word. No need to apologize. So it is sotto casa. It's sotto casa. Is it saying like House of the Sotos? Sotto casa? If so, pretty doggone cool. I've been trying to like frame these colors. So maybe that's what I'm doing here. Making a frame. No, I'm so glad that I get to hang out with y'all on Fridays and Saturdays. I almost said that today was Friday. I don't know. All day it's been feeling like Friday. I'm trying not to like fall into too many conspiracy theories because lately, my mind has been like all over the place. But I'm like, don't fall for it, girl. These are all distractions. But at the same time, like I can't lie and say that I'm not feeling and sensing some things. I don't want nobody to gaslight me and tell me that, look, this is what my old somebody I knew in my past life would say, don't piss down my back and tell me that it's raining. So that's what I'm gonna say. I don't want anybody to piss down my back and try to tell me that it's raining when I know it's not raining. When I know that stuff is messed up. Okay, we're gonna do the bottom part of our frame. You guys, this is coming out so nice. I really like it. I almost thought about painting a rock today because I have another rock that came up, but then I was like, I don't think I want to do that. So should we do blue or purple or both. Let's see what happens with if we put the blue first. Okay. And then we'll lead into purple. But yeah, you guys, I spent a lot of time with Miss Mama's, the baby chickie today. She's sleeping now. Last night, it didn't dawn on me till today when I was about to go live that at nighttime chickens go to sleep. I don't never hear no chickens cock-a-doodle-doo. They don't start till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, maybe that was like, I needed to remember that so that I don't try to keep her up at night playing. She needs her rest so she can grow big and strong. She's going to be the strongest chickie in town. She's eating her food very well. I'm also wondering, are there like toys that chickens play with? Like, not me trying to domesticate a chicken. Do y'all know 𝑦𝓒? I like how he is with his chickens. It's very cute. I do intend on having a full like lifestyle like that, which I kind of already do. People just keep telling me, man, everything's just working out for you, Maurva. I'm like, it is. I didn't think that it wasn't going to work out. I always knew it was going to work out. And let's do some of those on this side. This is an imaginary background, you guys, so don't judge it. I'm glad I decided to do coloring page today instead of painting that rock. But I do plan on painting the rock, but as I was like thinking about the rock, I was like, oh, what am I gonna put on the rock? And some part of me wants to have like a reference. I don't want to just randomly put something, which that's what I did with the other two rocks. Those are definitely just random. But I digress. And I digress. So next I need to find another show, not some more, but another show to watch since I already finished Beef. I'm also looking for some audiobooks. I want to start listening to audiobooks because I think that that will help me with my arts and crafts to lock in more. Because when I'm listening to an audiobook, then I can't scroll. When I'm not listening to an audiobook or I'm just listening to like music and trying to do like my stuff, sometimes I will give myself an actual break and then I'll be like scrolling. I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna take a 15-minute scroll break. Lately, that's how I've been negotiating with myself. It's been working okay because I don't feel as like I'm on there as much. And a lot of times, if I've been on it for too long, I'm like, let me make some content instead of me just like looking. Let me just make some stuff. I like the way that purple is looking at. I feel like I want to do like pink. Like this shade? What y'all think? Maybe on the sides? Looks like there's space on the sides for that. Tomorrow may be busy, guys. I'm not for sure, but there's so many things happening tomorrow. I also heard that I think that there's a World Cup thing happening. There's some acro yoga events happening, some shopping events. I'm trying not to like stress out. I know it's gonna be okay. It's just a day. But I still feel a little intimidation when it comes to like knowing that the day ahead might be like a little bit more full. I got that big Taurus energy, y'all. I like to rest. And when somebody changes plans, I actually get happy about it. I'll be like, thank God, I wanted to stay home anyway. I don't know what that is, but I accept myself. That's all I can say. I do like how this pink is coming out as being outlined for the purple. Okay, got one more over here. That is looking so good, you guys. It's like a trippy hot cocoa. Could we do anything else with this? What do you think? What y'all think? What are you thinking? I wish I had like, well, I do have a white colored pencil. Let me see if it's in the other one. That is a good question. Oh, maybe not a huge mystery. I got a whole other container. So I'm looking for a specific white. It might be this one here. Yep. My Prismacolor Premier white. Just to soften it up some. Yeah, I think that is better. You can't tell, but it's doing something. Now, I barely have lights on this evening, too. I just have on my little small desk lamp. I like how it looks with the light going on the outside of it. Yeah. So I can see. I thought I could, but I think this is better. I'm gonna have to sharpen this baby. That's how soft Prismacolor is. That's why people love them because it's buttery smooth. I don't know what other color pencils compare to Prismas. But so far in my life, these have been the best ones I've used. Okay, I need more. sharpener is in one of these places that I don't feel like looking right now. So let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can go a little softer. It's hard to go soft on the whites because I can't tell all the way. On the black part, yeah. Okay, that's good enough there. Should we do any other colors? Or maybe like an outline of a yellow? Ooh. Ooh. Okay, that's the whole outline of the coffee. Now, should I blend this out into the pink or should I add like one more layer of purple on the outside of the pink? First, we're going to color lightly here. And we'll see what happens from here. And then we'll know if we want to go ahead and outline one more time on top of that pink purple. That's how we'll know, you guys. You see how you can go much lighter when you can actually see the color? So that was why we were pressing so hard with the white, because we can't see the color. And now we can. Soon this book is going to be done. I need to get a new, but because I'm pretty sure I've colored almost all of the pages, except for a couple more. And some of them are like halfway colored, half not. When I first got it, I was hating how each time I colored it was coming out. And over the past few days, playing with it, it hasn't been too bad. It actually has been okay. Let's see how deep of a purple this one is. Supposed to be hugging. Yeah. Mm. I don't know. The colors are reminding me of SpongeBob for some odd reason. For some odd reason. Okay. I think that is all I'm going to do on this beautiful painting this evening. We did that, you guys. I really love how it came out. I'm going to get a little screenshot. Phew. All right, you guys. That is going to end this evening's live. I have been on here for over an hour. I cannot believe it. Thank y'all so much for being here with me. Well, for almost an hour, 52 minutes. Thank y'all for being here with me. Make sure that you subscribe, you turn on the notification bell so you know when I go live each time. With that being said, I will see you guys on tomorrow. Bye.